All right, leaders, let's just get straight to the point. I know you're busy, and that word, sustainability, it's everywhere, right? And honestly, it can feel like a whole lot of noise. Well, this isn't going to be another one of those vague, feel good talks. Think of this as your mandatory briefing. We're here to flip the script on sustainability from something you see as just overhead to a real, tangible opportunity for your business. So let's tackle the elephant in the room head on. Is this whole sustainability thing a real business strategy, something that can actually drive growth? Or is it just a massive distraction from what really matters? The bottom line. Look, a lot of you are probably skeptical, and you have every right to be. Our goal here today is to answer that exact question, but with facts, not fluff. Okay, here's how we're going to break it down nice and simple. We'll start with the new business reality, basically why you can't ignore this anymore. Then we'll talk about the first critical step, something called materiality. After that, we'll get into a real blueprint that's more than just PR, talk about the actual ROI, and wrap up with your next steps. Let's get into it. All right, first up, the new business reality. So why is this so important right now? What's changed? Because let's be honest, the ground is absolutely shifting under our feet, and just ignoring it, that's not a strategy anymore. Look, this isn't some far-off theoretical trend. This is happening today. The pressure is coming from literally everywhere. Check this out. Back in 2022, a survey of ISSA members made it crystal clear. Customer requests for sustainability info are shooting up. And we're not talking about a few clients here and there. This is a huge market demand. Then you throw in this global wave of new regulations and reporting requirements, and the message couldn't be clearer. This isn't about being green anymore. It's about staying in the game. Okay, so with all that pressure, where do you even start? It can feel overwhelming, right? Well, the answer isn't to try and do everything at once. It's to do what matters. And that brings us to the single most important concept we're going to cover today: materiality. Seriously, the biggest mistake you can make is trying to boil the ocean. A scattershot approach? It's just going to waste time, waste money, and you'll get zero real results. So before you do anything else, you have to focus. The first move, the strategic move, is to aim your efforts where they're going to have the biggest possible impact on your business. And that strategic filter, it's called materiality. Now, don't get hung up on the name. It sounds a little jargony, I know, but it's actually super simple. It's just a fancy way of saying what's actually important to my company. It's about figuring out which specific issues, environmental, social, whatever, have a real, tangible impact on your bottom line. This one step is what takes sustainability from this vague, fuzzy idea and turns it into a sharp, focused business strategy. All right, so once you know what's material to your business, it's time to actually do something. But that action has to be more than just feel-good marketing slogans. So let's talk about what a real, concrete blueprint looks like, one that goes way beyond just PR. And this really spells it out, doesn't it? On one side, you've got the fluffy PR stuff we're all so tired of hearing. The "we love puppies and trees" kind of thing. Vague statements that don't really mean anything. But on the other side, that's a real business strategy. I mean, we run businesses, we measure things, we set clear goals, we make plans, and we track our progress. The key takeaway here is simple. You have to treat sustainability with the exact same rigor you'd apply to sales or operations or any other core part of your business. And I want to be really clear about this. We're not just talking about some theory here. This is a full-blown movement. I mean, look at these numbers. The ISSA Sustainability Committee, it has over 200 members. They're spread across 17 different countries. This is not some small group talking to themselves in a back room. This is a global force of industry leaders all working together to build a real framework for action. So how are they making it happen? This is where the rubber meets the road. The work is broken down into 5 super focused work groups. Each one is tackling a critical piece of the puzzle. We're talking everything from supply chain reporting to product life cycles. This is the blueprint. This proves it's all about organized, methodical execution, not just more meetings and more talk. It's how you turn all that talk into real, tangible action across the entire industry. Okay, all this structure and action is great, but let's be real. It all comes down to the one question every single leader is asking. What's the ROI? What's the real return on investment here? Let's get into how this actually translates to tangible business value. Because you're right, if it doesn't help the business, what's the point?
So let's be blunt. This is a business development strategy, plain and simple. When you get involved in this, you're not just ticking a box for compliance. No, you're actually developing the next generation of leaders inside your own company. You're gaining incredible credibility and getting a seat at the table with major customers, like the National Retail Federation. You're putting your expertise on a global stage, showing everyone the value of what we do. And every single one of those things leads directly to the main goal, building a more successful, more profitable company.
And, this quote from Steve Ashkin just hits the nail on the head. This isn't about politics, it's about good business. That's it. That's the whole story. It's not about some political agenda. It's about being smart, meeting customer demands, and running a good business. Period. Okay? The business case is clear. The blueprint is there for you. So the last piece of the puzzle is you. What's your mandate as a leader? What can you do, right now? It's actually a pretty simple two-step action plan. Step 1, educate your team. There's an introduction to sustainability course, get your people in it. That way everyone is speaking the same language and you're all on the same page. Step 2, participate. Join one of those ISAEA work groups. Seriously, this is your chance to actually shape the future of our industry instead of just reacting to whatever happens next. And just in case you're thinking, what's the catch? Let's get rid of any final hesitation right now. Joining is easy, and it's free. The most important point is right there. It costs you nothing. The only barrier is making the decision to get involved. There is absolutely no financial cost to have a seat at this table and help shape what's next. So we circle back to the beginning, but maybe with a bit of a new perspective. The question really isn't if you're going to deal with sustainability anymore. The real question is how. Are you going to be a company that's always reacting, scrambling to keep up with new customer demands and new rules? Or are you going to be a leader, someone who's actively creating the future and turning this whole challenge into a massive competitive advantage? Really, the choice is yours.